Welcome to the deep dive from Defiant. We're the lifestyle sports brand on-chain, and this is your shortcut to the biggest news in DeFi and crypto. Today, we're looking at 5 key things you should know. We'll start with the big picture, global economics, and crypto.
Absolutely. It's always interesting to see how those traditional finance shifts ripple through to digital assets. And we've got some specific project stuff to cover too.
Yeah, let's jump right in. This U.S. China tariff news. Quite a development, a 90-day truce.
That's right. Significant rollbacks on both sides. U.S. tariffs down from, 145% to 30% on some goods?
Yeah, and China's down from 125% to just 10% on U.S. imports. The markets loved it. The Dow jumped like over 1,000 points.
Well, yeah. It's immediate relief, isn't it? Even if it's temporary. That kind of uncertainty, especially between the U.S. and China, it really spooks investors.
So easing that tension makes people more willing to take risks.
Exactly. Less fear in the traditional markets often means, a bit more appetite for assets with higher growth potential. Think crypto, think Bitcoin. It just creates a slightly more positive backdrop.
Okay, makes sense. So while that's happening on the macro level, let's zoom in a bit. Ronin, the Ron token, seeing a lot of on-chain accumulation. What does that actually signal?
Right. So on-chain accumulation just means we can see on the blockchain that more digital wallets are adding Aura tokens than getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Over the last 90 days specifically.
And Ronin is big in gaming and NFTs, right?
Precisely. So this accumulation, it likely points to growing confidence in the Ronin ecosystem itself. People might be anticipating new games, maybe NFT drops, something that increases the token's utility. It's a sign of belief in the platform's future, really.
Gotcha. Belief in the project, not just quick speculation. Speaking of positive signs, Bitcoin, it's creeping up again, isn't it? Within 5% of its all-time high.
Yeah, very close. Striking distance, you could say. And it's not just Bitcoin. We're seeing a pretty broad rally. Ethereum, Doge, even meme coins like PPE and Cosmos.
Well, it's fueling this. Still the ETF effect.
That's definitely a big part of it. Consistent inflows into those spot Bitcoin ETFs provide sort of underlying support and visibility. But the altcoin rally, that suggests something broader. Renewed confidence across the board, maybe. People venturing out on the risk curve again.
Interesting. More widespread optimism, perhaps. Now, this Metaplanet story, a Japanese company buying up a lot of Bitcoin.
A lot. They just bought another 241 BTC.
Bringing their total to nearly 6,800 Bitcoin. And the headline grabber, that's more than El Salvador holds, right?
Correct. It's pretty remarkable. It really highlights this trend of corporate adoption. We're seeing companies treat Bitcoin not just as, a speculative bet, but as a legitimate treasury reserve asset.
Like digital gold, almost, for their balance sheet.
Kind of, yeah. Metaplanet overtaking a whole country known for its Bitcoin focus. It just underlines that shift in perspective. It signals a strong belief in Bitcoin's long-term value, way beyond just individual investors or even specific national strategies.
It does raise questions, though, doesn't it, about what large corporate holdings mean for decentralization long-term.
That's the million-dollar question, or maybe the multi-billion-dollar question now.
Right.
It's definitely something to watch.
Absolutely. So from trade truces affecting sentiment to specific ecosystem growth like Ronin, the big Bitcoin push, and this rise in corporate stacking. Lots happening. That's our deep dive for today. We'll keep tracking all these moving parts for you. This has been the Defiant Podcast, brought to you by Defiant. Stay curious.